Okay, a 1994 XLH 1200 Sportster, and we're going to check the heads and put new valve seals on it. That's interesting. They're brand new seals. I just installed them, started up the bike, and that's started up once and that's it. They seem to be burnt around the outside there. If you look here, it's actually got a crack on the top there. They seem to be glued onto the intake manifold. That should just move off. I can't get that to budge. Okay, the inside of the gasket looks good, but the back of it looks burnt and deformed. Okay, so I've got the other one off, and that doesn't look too good. The front of it looks okay, but the back of it's already, it seems to be heat damaged. And that small lip at the front there, sorry, this thin bit seems to be burnt. Yeah, and as I say, all I did was install it, start it up, let it run for about 5 minutes, and that's all. So something's really up with this type of gasket, and you're probably better off with the standard rubber one. This seems to be a plastic type of gasket. So you might be able to see there what's happening with the spark plug. So yeah, you can see the spark plugs getting fouled up It's all full of soot and carbon. That's the rear spark plug. Okay, so the rear cylinder has a base rocker cover and the front doesn't. The rocker covers are both missing a rubber grommet, so it's missing one there and missing one there. So this engine has been torn down before, and the base rocker cover is missing this rubber plug just there. Okay, so I've got an early shot of the valves. 13mm socket. So I'm working from small to big. I've got the 2 Allen heads there, and then I'm going to grab the 3 inside ones and then the 4 big ones along the top. You want to try removing these first. You might have an easier time of getting the rocker cover off. Okay, I've got rear on the rear cylinder. Rear is just written across the back there. Don't forget to use a pointed socket. Don't use that type of socket. I've just cleaned off that edge there. And I can hardly feel any lip or any difference between the bore and the top there. There's a slight, well, it almost just runs over with the fingernail. There's no resistance really. There's a fair amount of oil and dirt around the bottom of the barrel there. I wasn't expecting to take the bottom of the barrel off. I previously soaked the motor in oil in anticipation it'd help with the undoing of the nuts and bolts, and it certainly did with the head bolts especially, because oil got in underneath the head bolts. I've since cleaned the bottom of the barrel, cleaned all this area, and I fully recommend completely cleaning an engine you're going to work on. Just make sure there's no dirt and mud around the engine. The piston looks good, seems good. It's still got its score marks on the outside. So there's clearly no worn area on the piston. The front and the back look good, and as I say, there's still the score marks or the ridges on the piston. It's just showing no wear at all. Okay, this engine's very close to 20 years old. You can see here that the rubber O-ring there's supple and in good condition. Okay, I'm going to test the valves, and what I'm going to do, I've got this tool here, and I'm just going to tip a bit of solvent into the what's that? That's the inlet, and into the exhaust port, and we'll just see if we get any leaks. This should be good. About 6 months ago I did a compression test, and the compression test was up around 150 psi. So far as I can tell, the compression's good, and the valve seal should be good. Okay, the inlet port. And the exhaust port. Yeah, this head's good. Okay, that was a rear one, and now we'll check the front head. Okay, exhaust port and inlet port. So far so good. So yeah, if the valve seals are found to be good, then I look at the jets in the carburetor, and they could be way out. Could be the mixture could be too rich, but yeah, we'll check the valve seals first. Just looking at the seal through there, might be able to see it just there. It actually doesn't seem too bad. The seals might be okay on this head. Yeah, this is a few days later, and one thing I've been thinking is that although the piston seemed new, and it had its its new honing marks or whatever they are on the outside of the piston, the inside of the bore is completely smooth. It doesn't have any honing marks, and the bore seems to be coated with a type of possibly yeah, I'd say carbon. It seems to be carbon coated, and also there's this effect where you get these rounds of sort of a black area there. There's one there, there's one there. Don't know whether that shows up on camera. That's the front piston cylinder. Okay, now for the rear cylinder. It's very smooth, and there's no carbon down inside the bore. There's just this lip of carbon just on the very top there. There's no actual difference in, like, it's not, there's no lip there. That's just petrol or gas. No wonder these things have got such a big amount of torque. I mean, have a look at the size of that cylinder. It's friggin' massive. That's the front cylinder. Yeah, the cylinder is very smooth. It doesn't seem to have any honing marks left. That there unfortunately is when I tried to do a top dead centre try with a Phillips head screwdriver. It hasn't done any damage, but it's gone through the part number there. What I'll try to do now is attempt to read out the part numbers. Okay, the piston numbers, we've got STD4, STD4, and then there's this area, and then the piston part number. So I'll read these out now, starting with this one and then that one. I've got 3747 FB23, 3747 FB23. The part number, I can't see all of it. One's finishing in A, one is finishing in C. The one finishing in A is the front cylinder. The one finishing in C is the rear cylinder, so I think it's 226588A. It's 226588A. Now for the rear cylinder, I'll read out this number, and then this number. The top number there is STD4, STD4, standard 4. The number here is 3820 LF11. 3820 LF11. The piston number is 2265088C. 2265088C.